features like customers looking for, things like that. I mean, obviously, it was like a quote unquote hardship project. You have to gain the real marketing experience by doing a project like this. This is probably the lowest CGPA with which Levers has ever shortlisted anybody. So I thought and gave the interview and didn't get the job. Hey, Pepsi is calling you back. Do you want to come back? And that's how I started my career, starry eyed in FMCG marketing, though it was anything but that. A very interesting summer internship, reported to Pune, went to a very fancy company apartment in Koregaon Park, then went to their factory setup, which was there in, I think, the Pimpri Chinchwad area those days, and was sent promptly out through searing summer of 1999 to do a black and white television market survey across what is now Chhattisgarh, coastal Andhra Pradesh, and interior Tamil Nadu. If they had to pick three places which would have been the hottest at that time, I think they picked those three. So I did I did places like Raipur, Bilaspur, Ambikapur, Baikundpur. These names still stay with me. All of it going by like some local bus from place to place, and then some Vizag, Vijayawada type places, I think, and then Tanjavur and some interior Tamil Nadu places to do essentially a survey on black and white television, how the market space was, which brands were leading, what features were customers looking for, things like that. So very very interesting. I mean, obviously, it was like a quote unquote hardship project. But I remember coming back, and there were some others who were also like equally passionate about marketing would end up getting placed in places like banks, right? So HSBC and places like that. And they obviously had a relatively cushy summer internship because they would go sit in an office and do like whatever study analysis, reports, graphs, etc. And then when I came back, I remember someone telling me, keep pause. You have to gain the real marketing experience by doing a project like this. I got placed fairly late in summers, so Phillips happened. Those days, of course, again, whenever you do your summers, the clamor is to see if you'll get a PPO, whether you accept it or not, at least for the ego boost that you'll get. I kept waiting, that never happened. And then I applied for like all the marketing companies that were day one for finals, so which was Levers, PNG, Asian Paints, Coke, Pepsi, ITC, and barring PNG and one other, I think got shortlisted in everything, even with grades which were not great at all. I think 4-term CGPA was used for applications, and I was at 2.6, if I'm not wrong. It was pretty bad. Even then, I got a Levers shortlist, and people were like, this is probably the lowest CGPA with which Levers has ever shortlisted anybody on campus ever. Again, I cracked the group discussion, or so I thought, and gave the interview and didn't get the job. This repeated one more time when I went and applied for Levers once again, got shortlisted for an interview, went and interviewed with them, and still didn't get the job 3 years into my working career. So that was not a love story that was meant to be. But I had like, I think, 4 interviews. And, I had a Cadbury interview, I remember. I thought it went well. But I also came out and got to know that they were informally telling people that, we're going to take you. So we'll make the offer at the end. Don't accept anything else. I had an ITC interview, which I thought went off really well. Again, same story, didn't get anything. I'd had a Pepsi interview and I think one other interview, done, no offers. All the other guys in marketing were like pretty much who were like out there to get marketing jobs are all placed. I was like head down, trudging back. I think the placements happened at the MDC block, and I was coming back to the hostels saying, Chalo, we'll see tomorrow, whatever comes. I think some advertising agencies were coming the next day, a couple of media companies probably, and a couple of more marketers, and so on. When some placement rep ran up and said, hey, Pepsi is calling you back. Do you want to come back? So I went back in and they had a bit of a chat and they said, are you sure you want to do this? And if you make you an offer, will you accept right now? I was like, yes, I will accept it immediately. So they said, okay, done, good. So I was like, yes, Pepsi ho gaya. I come out and the ITC interviews had just gotten over, and one of our seniors was an ITC, walks by and says, heard you got placed in Pepsi. Congratulations. We had you in mind though. I was like, what? And then he later comes back to the hostels and says, yeah, we had you. We would have made an offer to you. But I said, but you were like kind of indicating to the others that you were going to make offers to them. Whereas I got no such indication. He was like, yeah. We were like one slot we were just waiting to fill. And we thought we would make that offer. But by the time you had got replaced with Pepsi. So it's like, okay, great, moral victory, if not anything else. And that's how the fairly 24-hour stressful placement process at campus happened, and Pepsi happened. And that's how I started my career, starry-eyed in FMCG marketing, though it was anything but that after I started, as I soon kind of realized.